Welcome to the Fraser Park Public Utility District Planning, regular planning meeting, Thursday, May 27th, 2021. We're called to order at 6:01 PM. We need to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag
flag
of the
of
United
the
States
United
of
States of
America
of
America,
America,
and to the
to the
republic
to the
republic
republic for
which
which
it
it
which it
stands,
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 one nation,
one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
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 with
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 liberty
liberty
and
liberty
and
and
justice
justice.
justice
for all.
for all.
Okay, roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Here,
Director Gibson,
Here,
Director Kelling,
Here.
Director Nyman's here, Director Schoenberg.
here,
Okay, we have a quorum. Discussion, vote, adjust agenda if necessary. We do need to add a file with the Board of Directors, a report of the parcels that'll be submitted to the county for delinquent accounts.
And also approval of the ad in the paper for that.
And yeah, and approval for the ad in the paper. And we're doing that according to the Brown Act due to time restrictions, time sensitive matter. So if we want to, I would say right now, since we don't have everybody, we should maybe put that after public comments.
What do you mean we don't have everybody?
Well, we don't have Dee, we don't have anybody from Self-Help Enterprises.
But we don't need them for adding that to the agenda.
No, but I'm saying put it after public comments because they're not here, because we don't want to get into the other issues until they get here.
We don't want to start our own business until, so that would be something short and sweet.
So anyways, I need somebody to make a motion to add this to the agenda.
I'll move that we add the tax payroll to the agenda after 3, before 4. So I think it's-
And also approval for the ad in
and
the paper.
approval for the ad in the paper.
Do I hear a
It's not-
second?
It's not called tax payroll. Can we call it the correct name?
What is the correct name?
What's the correct name? Delinquent accounts?
Is the special assessment for delinquent accounts.
Yeah, special assessment for delinquent. Do you accept that friendly amendment, Director Kelly?
I take that friendly amendment.
Okay, I'll
Okay,
second that motion.
okay, Director Schoenberg is a second in it. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Brummels, aye, Director Schoenberg.
But you know what? We also missed mentioning as part of that motion that it's due to time restrictions, that item was added due to time restrictions, added at the last minute.
You accept that friendly amendment,
I
Director
accept
Kelly?
that friendly amendment.
Okay. Then Director, roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried 500. And at this time, do we want to move anything up or
Yeah, I'd like to move that we put financial business after item well, it's gonna be now item 4, so between or directly after the delinquent account discussion.
do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Motion carried 500. Okay.
I'd like to make one other motion if
Okay.
if we do not get Oscar and Carlos on the phone in time, I would like to move the minute review up, which is item number 16, up to directly after financial business.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Director Gibson has seconded it. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Motion carried 500. Okay, on to public comments. Are there any public comments?
Actually, I had a quick question. I was calling in regarding the pond, but I'm not sure when I should ask to speak. This is my
Well-
first time ever.
Right now.
calling
Okay,
in.
yeah, public comments
Right now?
are limited to 5 minutes
Except,
and
hold on, you guys, we have the pond is on the agenda.
Number
So-
13.
Yeah, she could address it a little bit now, but if it's something we actually need to vote on or anything, it would be number 13 on the agenda. And I don't know if you guys looked in the chat, but we just received a chat that self-help, that no one from self-help will be here tonight.
And D Jasper will not as well.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
this might help to this situation then. Just because as of right now, there was some misinformation. It was a little bit premature. We do not have the engineer report yet. We're still collecting funds right now, so we're not at that level yet.
Who's speaking? Who was just speaking?
Jackie?
Do you mind introducing yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Jackie McNamee. I'm part of the Save the Pond group.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good evening.
Evening. So, but I know that you guys were under the impression there was already a report done. There was some crossing communication there, so I wanted to clarify that. So if you want to possibly postpone this, because I think you were waiting for that information.
yeah, okay, we'll do that when we get to that.
And Jackie, I don't know if you can, if you're able to stay, but you may want to stay for 13 still. If we need to, we can move it up as well. But I think there's a little bit of new information that you may want as well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some stuff that I want to offer you guys too. So, I am on the road. Will be when you guys are there if I'm going to have reception. So I'm going to try and stay on as long as I can.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
you're breaking up, so.
Is there any other public comments? Elke?
I would like to ask a question. I'm part of the neighbors that have planted the native plants along Mount Pinos Way and Monterey. And I would like to find out if it's possible that we can turn on the water for just like 15 minutes so that we can check the lines to make sure, whether we have to replace anything or, before we go into full operation with the watering.
Yeah, yeah, that would not be a problem for very short term, but it would have to be very short term.
Yeah,
Did we
just
activate again?
look it and see what works, what doesn't, so then we can figure out what we can fix or replace.
Yeah, the main thing is people. I had told I forget his name now, that you're the guy helping you with the Chamber of Commerce, that we know nothing about this. We know nothing about the sprinkler system. So somebody that knows sprinkler systems will have to, help you get it turned on.
I understand that, and that's why my concern is we have no idea what's what, and so I would like to see, what is working and how, and then we can figure out how to fix it and get some expert to maybe redo the lines or whatever will need to be done. But Johnny, can I talk to you? Can I call you next week and we arrange a time?
Yeah. Get with me on Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll talk about it.
Perfect, great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Elke.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll go on to discussion and vote on the special assessments for delinquent. You want to take that, Tiffany?
Yeah, I got it. can I ask who jumped on so I can take the phone number off?
This is Oscar from Self Help.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Oscar, welcome.
Hey, sorry I was a little late.
It's okay. We moved on.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Okay, 1 second. Okay. There it is. So if you can see that, I updated the list.
It didn't
from-
open up,
You don't see
Tiffany.
it?
I see it says list of delinquent accounts. It's a PDF, but it didn't open when you clicked on it.
Okay, I'm seeing it open on my screen. No one's seeing it.
No, I see PDF.
That is weird. Okay, I will try again.
I do have it in front of me though, because I printed it out.
Okay.
Try opening it first and then doing share screen.
Okay. Let me take that off. Okay, do you see it?
Yeah, there it is.
Yay, thank you, sorry about that. Okay, so here is a list with the ATNs or parcel numbers and the amounts, the delinquent amount. And this is a report. This is
What?
Johnny's report that he needs to submit to the board or file with the board. So here is the official notice. And as you can see, there's a total of $13,815.34. That number could change depending on if people make any type of payments before we officially file this. So that was step one. We're following the steps according to the Public Utility Code. So the first step was to file it. The second step is once it's filed, we are going to hold a public hearing, and that gives the public an opportunity to protest or to contest any of these charges or having their account submitted over to Kern County. And I'm going to switch, let's see.
Tiffany, quick question. When that public hearing happens, is it a majority vote or how does it work? Is it just one person if they protest it, or is it a protest?
So it's a public hearing in the sense that it's open to any of these specific accounts to come in and say, you know, whatever they say as far as whether they have any objections or if they're opposed to it. And then if there's no opposition and the board looks at it and sees no reason not to, then you approve moving forward with the submission. But the final vote will be the resolution like we do every year.
And if there is opposition?
Then the board deals with it at the time, listens to the reason why the customer is opposed. The board is welcome to offer payment plans at that time. All these people have no contact with us, so.
Okay. Yeah, the reason I'm asking these questions is
Yeah.
we have not done the public hearing for this particular item, so I was not
Right.
sure.
And then we're gonna have this published in the newspaper as well. It's gonna run 2 weeks, for 2 full weeks before the public hearing. So that gives everyone notice. We're also going to mail the owners of record for these parcels a notice letting them know of the public hearing and the delinquent amount.
Thank you.
That's part of that process. You're welcome.
Okay, and
And then
when will the public hearing be?
So that was scheduled for June 22nd, Tuesday at 6 p.m. It will be a Zoom meeting.
Okay,
As far as I know, none of the executive orders will change before June 22nd, so it'll be entirely on Zoom. And I am going to pull up the notice. If you give me a second, I will pull up the notice that's going to go in the newspaper so you can take a look at it and let me know if you have any changes. Let's see. I just have to get into my email, or yeah, my email so I can share it with you. Almost there.
Johnny, when we put somebody on a payment plan, do they
Yeah.
have a year to pay off that, or how does that
Yeah,
work?
it's a 12 month or less, depending on what the customer wants, but we extend payments up to 12 months.
Okay,
and then they have to pay that payment plus whatever their current charges are to stay
Yeah.
in good standing.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, I got it up. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. That's it for you. So this is what it's going to look like, minus any kind of formatting that the newspaper needs to do. So notice of public hearing, June 22nd, 6 p.m. I have the Zoom information. And so if you want to read those 3 small paragraphs, let me know if you have any changes. They're cut and paste from the Public Utility Code. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
thank you.
good.
It looks good to me.
Can you go up just a little bit?
Let's see. Up to the top of the page?
No, the other direction.
No,
The other day?
Down.
she wants to see the rest of what you,
Oh, okay.
so the rest is just all the APN
It's just the
numbers?
list. Yeah,
And that's it? Okay.
that's it.
Okay, so I move that we go ahead and allow Tiffany, or, go ahead and ask that Tiffany, Maddie, sorry, submit this with whatever payment it needs to the newspaper. Do we have to pay for this?
Yeah, we'll have to pay for it to be in the
Okay.
paper. It's gonna run for 2 weeks.
Is it a full page ad?
That depends on how the paper can fit it in there. If it doesn't have to be a full page,
Okay.
then we won't do that.
Okay, so anyway, I move that we submit this to the paper.
I hear
I'll second that.
Director Garcia second it. Roll call of directors. Director
Oh, I'm
Garcia.
sorry. Can I amend that? I shouldn't say this. I should say I move that we submit the notice of public hearing for June 22nd, 2021, 6 p.m. For the delinquent accounts to the paper.
I still second that.
Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Motion carried 500. Okay, moving on to,
Can I ask that at this time, because Oscar did show up, that we change the two previous motions and go back to our normal items of business, our normal order of business from the agenda.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Kelling, second. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Motion carried 500. Okay, on unfinished business, for discussion vote update, Fraser Park Consolidation Planning Project.
Can you,
discuss-
can you note the time, please, Director?
And the time is 6:22. Discussion vote update on test wells. So we had our state update meeting, and basically what we were told by Dee was that Johnson Drilling was running late, and so we will not be starting the test well until probably the second week of November.
Of November.
I mean of June.
March.
Oh,
Of
God.
June. Sorry, I don't know where I went with that.
Thanksgiving, my God. Late.
And
Well, I would be thankful if it happens by then. No, we will be doing it the second week of June.
Okay.
So, B, discussion update contract with Johnson.
Can I ask a question on
Sure.
that? I don't think it's one of these items. Did we get the receipt? Were we able to submit the payment, the $5,000 payment for the lease on the land? And were we able to get a receipt for both of those from?
Nope, I delivered Sayers and got a receipt for that. Jeff French and Emily Wainwright have yet to respond to phone calls and emails, but I'll continue working on it.
Okay, thank you. Just want that
You're
on the
welcome.
record.
Sure.
Okay. And also, I guess the question is, do we have to send them a letter when we'll be entering the property? Is there something that we need to notify, like see a property that we'll be beginning?
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm sure we'll do at least a email, reach out to them, email or letter.
I assume D will handle that.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. So
but
as soon as we have a solid date, then we'll start doing that.
Okay.
And I wanted to add one more item to that discussion, and that is that we did receive word as far as the environmental goes, that there'll be an archaeologist that needs to come on site directly before we start to dig, and just make sure that there are no issues with any that we're not in violation of any kind of
Burial site or anything. like
burial
that.
site or any environmental issue. So they're gonna come right, even though it's been looked at and everything, there's gonna be someone on site right prior to digging.
Okay. B, discussion update on contract with Johnson Drilling. We approved that contract. I guess what we need to find out, did you sign that yet, Director Garcia?
Yeah, I believe I signed it earlier this week with Johnny.
Yep.
Okay.
That wasn't the Johnson Drilling contract. You signed Dee's contract.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
there
Dee's
was
amendment.
an issue on the Johnson Drilling that we were waiting on, which was that they had not added the indemnified or whatever you call it,
Also insured.
Right.
also insured, yeah.
So also, Johnny, could you follow up with D? Because I don't remember seeing that he sent that to Lawrence, because Lawrence was supposed to give an okay on
Said
that.
what? That contract with Johnson Drilling?
Yes.
Yeah. We
Because
need,
he was supposed to, because when we approved it, he was supposed to send that contract to Lawrence for Lawrence to give an approval and do an email approval that the contract is okay, and then we were to get it signed.
right, well, there were
Okay.
two issues. One was the liability that had to happen first, and then it needed to go to Lawrence for an okay.
Yeah, I'm sending an email right now.
And I think Lawrence, let me look, always fun trying to find. Okay,
So if Johnson Drilling doesn't have a contract, does that mean that?
then the drilling doesn't go forward. We have to, until we get it signed.
Okay, so,
But we
Uh,
already approved it. We're just waiting on them to change the liability portion, and we're waiting for Lawrence to just give it a once over and okay it.
yeah, but if you're talking about them coming up in 2 weeks and they don't have a contract signed, that may.
Right, that's why I'm asking Johnny to follow up with Dee so that we could get on it right away, because we need to have that.
I just did. I just sent him an email, so.
And I'm trying to see here. I know Lawrence sent an email and I'm not finding it. Maybe it's, okay, let me look at this here. Okay, okay, so that's, okay, Lawrence just had sent an email asking about the Wainwright SIA easements, which I think he's talking about the receipts. Then he said the well drilling contract, he was asking for that, and also the budget update, which we're going to discuss in a minute. So, okay, on to C, discussion vote on project budget adjustment request.
I looked that over, and the letter that Dave had written up, and it looked good to me. I don't know if anyone else looked at it.
Yeah, I looked at that too. And I was okay with the letter.
So I would move that we submit that letter to Lawrence, and that we that letter basically addresses kind of.
So basically, just to boil it down to everyone that's on, if you don't have a copy of this, in the agreement for the planning contract, we are reducing, taking from the contingency. We're putting in for consolidation legal, $9,000 in legal annexation costs. We're the test well drilling, we reduced, because the original cost for the 2 wells was $261,400, and we revised that to $25,600 because there was a mistake in the addition in that particular bid. And then under hydrological and inspection, we added $2,480, and then on contingency, we reduced it by $6,680. So that's basically what this letter is doing, which gives approval that we're changing the budget line items.
And yeah, we actually added a line item for the consolidation annexation, which included that legal amount of 9,000.
Yes, I said that.
Well, you said the amount, but you didn't say that we added the line item. And then we
Okay.
also changed the line item of the hydrologist to include inspection.
Yes. So with that, I would entertain a motion that we approve this letter to be sent to Lawrence.
So didn't I already make that motion? And you,
I guess I didn't hear that. Could you remake the motion, please?
So I move that we approve the letter, approve and send the letter that Dave Warner wrote to Lawrence from the state, which also states all of the budget adjustments. So we would be kind of approving the budget adjustment in that same motion.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Kelling is seconding it. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Okay.
Okay, motion carried 500. Okay, D and E, I don't know if there's nothing to discuss on this right here today. Is
Because
there?
we don't, I'd like to table, I move that we table D and E until the next planning meeting in June, because we want to have D here to address whether he's worked on the sphere of influence map at all. And the MSR, we are waiting on until after the test well is drilled.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Director Garcia seconded it. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, those items are tabled. Motion carried 500. Okay, F, discussion vote on changing to monthly claims.
I'd like to move that we carry this over for one more month because I believe we're gonna be submitting claim 8 in June or July. And so I think we probably want to carry over the change to monthly till after we submit claim 8.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Director Kelling has seconded it.
Oh,
Roll call
sorry, I didn't say when I was carrying, so friendly amendment, I didn't say carrying it over to the next planning meeting. Sorry.
Okay, you accept that friendly amendment, Director Kelling?
I accept that.
Okay, roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, G, discussion vote on update on claims and payouts. As far as I know, with the state update meeting, we just basically claim 7 has been submitted. And so we're still waiting for payment on that. The state has received that particular claim. And like Director Schoenberg said, we will probably be doing claim 8 in June or July.
And self-help did receive the money from the state for the technical assistance fund. And a
Yes.
check was sent to Young Wooldridge, and they were asked to forward a check once that was received to the district. And also a check was sent to D. Jasper and Associates, and the same thing, although on one of them, it was at the Young Wooldridge, they paid a little extra than what they owe us. So we had paid out most of the, which one was it? I'm not sure, Director Nyman. Was it Young Wooldridge or D. Jasper? One of them, self-help paid a little bit extra over what we paid, so they won't be sending the full amount. They'll be sending just the full amount of what we paid on previous invoices, but there were some extra invoices that were paid as well. So anyway, all of that's paid, and we should be getting reimbursement checks from both parties.
Right. So Tiffany, if you could just make a note. I know you sent out an email to Young and Wooldridge, to the person, and gave them the address to send the check to. But could we follow up with D? Because I didn't see anything where they sent it to D, to make sure that D sends us a check.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna read into the record what the amount was to the request for payment. Total due, Young Wooldridge was $4,079.25. which we'll be receiving back from them. And I don't know if we need to actually say which invoices. We have a copy of all that, so I'm not going to read it all into the record, but we do have a spreadsheet for all that we'll be checking. And then the D. Jasper and Associates was $4,859.98. And I believe that's the one where it was a little bit over the amounts that they owe back to us.
Okay. On to discussion 5, discussion vote update on Fraser Park Public Utility District meter replacement project, emergency replacement well and water supply project. It's always a mouthful. So basically, on the state update meeting, we talked to Lawrence, and we should be getting the approval on the grant by the end of June, before the fiscal year. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, the contract is under review and should be completed by June 30th.
Brahma, can I add something to that?
Sure. Go ahead, Oscar.
So I just wanted to mention, and this can potentially be applied to different projects as well, but Kern County was awarded a significant amount of money for communities, for them to apply to different communities. It's the CARES Act. So
That's
this
yeah.
can,
Okay. We have that on as number 9 on our on the agenda here.
oh, okay.
Well, no, I'm just because the I mean, this approval isn't going to be the monies for this particular project.
Yeah,
know,
this
Correct.
project is already underway, and we're just waiting for
the grant for the contract so that we can
For
move
the funding
forward
agreement, yeah.
for the
right,
funding agreement.
in before the end of the fiscal year on June 30th.
So we can talk when we get to number 9. We'll talk more on that.
I think you might want
Okay.
to state the time again too, because we missed stating the time for going out of the consultant.
6:39. Okay. All right. So on to number 6, discussion vote on emergency repairs to the Wolf Booster tank site. We, you'll see in the packet, we received the change order from D. Jasper, signed by the contractor, that it's a no cost change order. To clarify, that bid item number 4 was for installation only and did not include any cost associated with the purchase of the new pump and motor. And there was no cost due to the extension of time due to COVID related delays. And so upon receiving that, we got the checks signed for payments, progress payments number 4 and number 5, and those went out to Unified. Is that not correct, Johnny?
That is correct.
Okay. And where do we stand, Johnny? What do we have left to do on this project? Do we just have to build the building, or?
Yeah, the building, after they had to change the direction the door was going to face, they had to send it back to the engineers at Tough Shed or whoever, and I'm waiting to hear back when they're going to install that.
And so that pretty much will complete the whole project, right?
I believe that that's going to be the completion of the project, the building and whatever electrical has to go in it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just the building. All the
Okay.
piping and stuff is done.
Okay. All right. So then we can move on to number 7, discussion vote update on Cal OES Community Power Resiliency allocation to special districts grant.
I'm still waiting to hear back from from Dee and Curtis on their proposal to spec, or not to spec everything out, but to do the bid and the construction process. They had to get with Ken Schmidt, or not Ken Schmidt, the electrical engineer, to find out how they were going to work together and what they had to bid that wasn't being done. So as soon as I hear back from that, I'll let you guys know.
Okay, and that's something that also we need to keep we need to keep there was an amendment to the bid that just says that there's a change of the end of performance period of the subaward following funds fiscal year 2021 community power resiliency program from October 31st, 2021 to March 31st, 2022. All programs funds in the amount of $288,800 must be expended by March 31st, 2022. The dates
Yep.
for the special conditions must match the approval annual plans. So, so basically, we just need to really keep on top of this so that we don't run out of time in getting this
Yep.
purchase and put in.
They actually gave us more time, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, no, but I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, so if there's nothing else, we'll move on to 8, discussion vote on pipeline replacement project, a review of the pre-construction engineering budget.
So D submitted a budget to he submitted a letter and resubmitted the budget that he'd originally done back, I think, in April, with some addition for construction costs, which have gone up. So I looked it over. It looked pretty good. My only issue was that it doesn't cover any costs that the district may need in terms of, if we're going to go in for for funding, we may need additional meetings, things on that, and it doesn't include anything like that or any legal costs. So I know he's just looking at engineering right now, but I think that we need to think about that as well.
Okay, and I think this is where Oscar, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this where we might be able to get some funding for the mapping and locating a pipeline, which is pre-construction, to get grants for that, maybe through the American Rescue Plan?
Can I say something before Oscar speaks?
Sure.
So there's multiple places that we should be looking for money for this. So one is that we had originally talked to Lawrence about it being an incentive for the consolidation, and that's still on the table. The second thing is that we had looked at safer funds we're looking at safer funds with Dave with self-help. And so that's potentially on the table. And the third is this American Rescue Plan CARES Act, which Oscar's going to address next. But that just, came up and became available through Kern County as well as through the state. So
Right.
So that's another possible.
Yeah. Well, and I would venture to say that we would want to maybe pursue it quicker under this as a safer and as the American Rescue Plan, because that's the pre-work we have to do before we can ask for an application to have it as an incentive project to do pipeline to coincide with the consolidation project. So just a note, because this 289,000 is something we have to expend just to locate the map and locate the piping before we can put in a request for pipeline replacement. So, all right, and on to number 9, discussion vote on district application for American Rescue Plan CARES, distribution system, water line location, mapping, design, and construction well construction, meter storage, tanks, replacement, and other work. Okay, Oscar, you want to address that?
Yeah, I apologize. I have like severe allergies today. So if I'm not like a little clear, just let me know.
Okay.
So just want to let everybody know that Kern County was awarded a significant amount of money for the CARES Act to distribute among different communities in Kern County. So this would be a good time for the board to address the county supervisor and just letting them know, hey, you know what? We're a disadvantaged community. We have all of this going on here. We need some help. You know, how can you help us? Because at this point, I spoke to some individuals in Kern County. They kind of have a plan of how they want to distribute the money, but ultimately the county supervisors, they need to approve this. So it hasn't been approved yet. So in reality, it's not set in stone.
So what you're saying is that we need to do like a letter to the board supervisor, like asking for help for like mapping, and do we need to put other projects on there, or how do we need to put that together?
I would say
well-
that I would just say that we need to address all the projects that don't currently have funding on there. And just let them know how many projects we have going on and that our funding doesn't cover it.
And I agree with Lisa there, you know, just express all the needs that you guys have there in the community. And I mean, just let them know, hey, it's not just one project. It's not just two projects. It's several things that are going on here, you know, and we are disadvantaged. So, you know, we need help.
Yeah, like pipeline replacement too. We could throw that out there too. Maybe they'll fund some of that.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
So who's gonna work on this? Is this under an
Yeah.
ad?
Well, we could put it together and then maybe just have somebody approve it. I mean, it's pretty simple letter, just addressing it. You could pick who wants to review it before it's sent out.
Okay,
Saying it's simple, but who's actually going to write it? I'm not going to do that.
I could do it. I could
okay,
do it with Tiffany's help or whatever. That ain't a problem.
Okay.
perfect. And then
I think the project committee could review it.
yeah, so
All right.
me and Lisa could
Ad
review it
hoc.
and then go forward. And then, so that's something that we would want to get on, you know, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So,
And then I would recommend just before we send it out that we bring it to the board at our next meeting too, if we, you know, just so
well,
that they give a final.
okay. Okay, let me look here. Dave had said, what did Dave say?
Yeah, I was trying to pull up his email to see.
Okay, he says, let's see. I recommend you strongly consider reaching out to your county super ASAP is what he said. So, you know, I don't know how long we really have to do that letter. I think,
Then I would get a vote of approval at this time to send that out. So basically that Johnny and Tiffany would be putting the letter together. It would be reviewed by the project ad hoc, which includes stuff.
so
And
could I get somebody to make a motion to that effect? Somebody who either Director Kelling or Director Garcia or Director Gibson to do a.
I will make a motion that we have Johnny and Tiffany write a letter to our supervisor that will be reviewed by our ad hoc committee, and so that we could get it out.
Okay, Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman abstains, Director Schoenberg.
Yeah, I abstain since I'm on the ad hoc.
Okay, 3-0, 2 abstentions, motion carried. Okay, is there anything else we need to discuss on this particular item? Do you have any other comments, Oscar?
No, as Dave mentioned, I just recommend that you guys reach out as soon as possible.
Okay, yeah, so that's something maybe in the next week or so we can look at getting done, Johnny?
Trying to unmute myself. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 10, review and approve state update meeting minutes for 5/20/21.
I found one mistake on those on page 3. The IRWIP was spelled without the P, for planning. It's on item G, it's just IRWM project instead of IRWMP. And that's
Can
the.
I explain that really quick?
Sure.
Because the P is project,
No, the
So-
P is planning.
regional water management.
Look it up. Planning.
Says planning. Okay, that's how Dave printed it on his agenda, but I'll add the P.
Okay. Yeah, I looked it up first. I could be crazy, but I looked it up on the internet. Okay, so with that, I would like to hold on a second. I'd like to move that we approve the planning minutes. Just lost my place. Okay, I'd like to move that we approve the state update meeting minutes for Thursday, May 20th, 2021. With the amendment I mentioned and the possibility for additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may not, or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Garcia, second it. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
5-0, motion carried, minutes approved. I think we're gonna skip the break. On to financial businesses. Number 11, vote on accounts payable and financial information. And that's you, Linda.
Is Linda on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm on my phone, so I am traveling, so I didn't know if I'm doing it right or not. Okay, so as of May 27th, which is today, the total cash balance in all accounts is $2,233,851.54. And the revenue operating account balance as of today is $219,542.47. This balance is after the checks that were written for the billed invoices on May 24th and May 25th. I ran checks on both those days, 27th, I mean. And that's in the amount of, those checks were in the amount of $6,907.49. And that's my report for today.
Okay, so basically I'll start before we had, from the previous meeting. I take it, Johnny, we sent out a corrected check to Ferguson for $1,103.24.
As you can see, Brahma, on the report that I gave you, it shows that check with the correction on it.
Right. but
Yes,
that-
and it was
that-
sent out.
It was sent out. It was signed and sent out. That's all I'm asking because I didn't see it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
I had Lisa, Becky, and Jerry sign checks for me.
Okay, okay.
You
and-
were taking a nap.
Okay, yes. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, it was a good nap too. Kyle Scally, what was that to for 243.29, Johnny?
To replace outlets in the kitchen and the office, or the boardroom of the office, and to put an outlet above the front door so we could buy a camera and install a camera out there and plug it in.
Okay. And then we did a check for the post office for $500. And so Tiffany, just make a note before the next regular planning meeting that we need to get a balance so that we know, because I'm assuming that we're probably going to need to put more money on the postal account with the second board meeting of June. So if we could just kind of make a note to check that, so we know that we're not getting behind. Okay, so then we had just we finished the audit for 2021 for our auditors, Barbic, Hooper, and whatever.
Excel.
Cattell. We're sending them a check for $22,750. That completes the audit for 2020. We had our normal ADP.
Can I just say that total was 16,250 of
And that-
all of the,
for the entire audit, yes.
and I think you skipped ADP.
Right, I was going to get to that.
Okay.
Was ADP for 135. Canon Financials was 439.08. It's a little more than normal. We had a lot of extra color copies on that. Then Linda, you're going to have to cut another check under USA Blue Book. You made the check out to 872.39, and I'm going to go ahead and send that check out. But we need to make a check out for 98.99 because you only paid for on that invoice the items that we purchased, and we failed to put in the tax or the freight cost for the total invoice. So the actual check should have been, let me pull the check out.
971.38 with so we have a balance due of $98.99.
Right. So it should have been 971.38. So
The
Okay.
the balance due is 33.33 for shipping and 65.66 for tax.
so I'm gonna highlight that. I'm gonna highlight that, put that on your desk, but I'm gonna go ahead and send the check out, and we just have to make another check out to do that.
Okay, for 98.39. Okay,
98.99.
8.99.
99. Okay,
Yeah. And you
Got
can
it.
double check
I'll
that
double
on the
check.
invoice.
will do.
Also, we had a check for $429.49, Johnny, Frank's radio service.
That was part of what I was going to do a long time ago, put a PA in one of the trucks to do emergency broadcasts. And so they finally came out and did it.
Okay. Okay. And then the last one was for BC Laboratories for $435, normal testing of our water quality. And with that, I'll entertain a motion that we pay our bills.
I'll move that we pay our bills and that we additionally pay a check for $98.99 to make up the difference that we owe to USA Blue Book.
I'll
Do I hear-
second that.
All right, Director Garcia, second that. Do I roll call of directors? Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Motion carried 500. Okay. moving on, 12, discussion vote on book asset detail. We still need to do that.
It's critical that we, Director Nyman and I get together and work on that. It's due, but we haven't heard from RCAC. I think Johnny was checking with David there to see where he's at. But I know that we have very little time left. It's just I'm overwhelmed with. That's why I'm like I'm not going to write that letter. So I'm completely overwhelmed with different duties. So I know Director Nyman and I talked about meeting earlier this week, and it didn't happen. So it's going to need to happen for next week. And we're just gonna have to pull out all of the different invoices for all of the grants that we got and figure out what we spent on each. They're not broken down into items like, you know, individual tanks. It's just like $1 million and it's like a big lump sum of stuff, and it doesn't work that way. So we're gonna need to get together and try to break that up as much as we can.
Okay, so I'm available Monday or Thursday.
Okay.
Monday's a holiday.
Oh, Monday's a holiday.
I'm okay with that if you're around. We could go in if Tiffany was able to help us before she. Oh, that would have to happen tonight. Yeah, maybe not because we don't know where any of that stuff's at.
And everybody's doing their holiday stuff. I do have further stuff from David. I have to send a list of 50 accounts and their water usages and all that stuff so he could do one of his studies and stuff. So we're still progressing forward. Me and Tiffany's going to work on that Tuesday.
So I'm available Thursday or Friday, Lisa.
Okay, I know our problem is that we have a due date, like it's supposed to be done in the end towards the end of June, and that October we're supposed to be doing the 218, and he did get an extension from the state, but the extension is due, like it should have already happened in April, so it's already been extended. I don't think he's gonna be able to extend it again. So let me look on the. I'm trying to look up.
So Thursday.
So what you're saying?
The 3rd or the 4th for me.
Well, yeah, Tiffany would have to show you where the stuff is because we're off on Fridays.
And I'm working a half day Thursday because I have one graduating high school that day.
And I've got problems on Friday after doctor's appointments off the hill. Is it possible? So you're not around you're busy on Wednesday. Maybe
I'm off the hill Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday I've got commodities. I can't commit to anything there.
Maybe I can go in Wednesday and just lay stuff out with Tiffany, and then we could go in on the weekend or something.
Okay, that would be fine.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Tiffany?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, great.
Okay, just let me know when, Saturday or Sunday, Lisa.
Okay, yeah, let me lay it out and then just keep in mind it'll be one of those 2 days.
Okay. All right. Moving on to new business, 13, discussion vote on redevelopment of the pond. Okay. I need to, I know that Jackie was on and she was discussing, oh, she's back.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
So can I bring up what happened at the state meeting?
Yes, go ahead.
So Jackie and everyone else that's interested. So we had brought this up in our discussion since Jesse Dollywall was on our meeting from the State Water Resources Board, and he was very con to putting a well, even though I thought that was a great idea, but he was con to putting a well in the park because of drought conditions. So we did tell him that you were going to try to find out, what the levels were. But,
You're breaking up.
You didn't hear me?
Yeah, we heard most of it.
Okay,
I missed a lot of it.
I'm sorry, what?
I missed a lot of it. I think I got the gist of it, but you're saying that the state was saying that it's a no due to drought?
Well, I don't think he's the only one that would be saying no, but I think that they seem to give the impression that they were not for any additional use of water at this time.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
realistically, I think it's kind of early to even involve.
Well,
we
we didn't involve him. Okay, let me just
They
read.
involved us.
Can I just read what he said under the state update meeting minutes? Jesse Dollywall updated the attendees that okay, that was okay, sorry. Jesse also addressed the rehabilitation of the pond at the Fraser Park community. He actually brought it up because somebody had contacted him. He recommended against allowing a well to be drilled to supply water because of drought conditions. He suggested looking into non-potable water sources instead. So I don't know what he means by that.
Oh, that's actually what we're doing.
Yeah.
No,
That's
no,
perfect.
that's not, no, he's worried about there being enough water for the town itself in severe drought conditions. So he
Well,
understands that he understands that you would be drilling a separate well besides the ones for the town, but the
Right.
town still relies on the water that's underneath the town. So
Right.
that's his concern. And then our engineer strongly suggested that we don't move forward with that currently either, because everybody's so scared of this drought that we're back into.
Well,
And
realistically, it's not happening tomorrow. I mean, that's it. This is kind of a ways out.
right. Well, at this time, so basically that's what the state is saying. And then the engineer is still, we're going to be as pertaining to the Lake of the Woods project. We're going to be doing an MSR after the drilling of the test wells. And so he's going to need to update a document, and he's getting with Ken Schmidt on that particular document to estimate water demands and availability in the
Yeah,
area.
but related to the pond, basically, it could be revisited if the drought were to break and things were to
Right.
turn around. But right now, nobody's gonna feel comfortable with doing that since we're back in the drought.
Well, I have a question. What kind of how are you guys mapping the area of your water supply?
Experts that do the best that they can. They
But
have,
what methods are they using?
well, we'll have to discuss that at another time. I'm not a hydrologist. Nobody here is, but they've used
Well-
measurements to study down to bedrock. They've used existing well data from our wells and from surrounding wells. So they put all that stuff together. No, let me finish, Jackie. So they put it all together. You asked me what they did, so I'm telling you. They put it all together from all the data they correlate from all around this area, and then they base their study off of that.
So the people I've been talking to are looking at doing extensive satellite mapping with different various layering that run algorithms to actually show exactly where all the water supplies are, where all the springs are, where depth and quantity and everything.
Okay, well, satellites can't see what's under the ground, so
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
that's
why.
what algorithms are for, though.
Johnny, I think that that's great. I think that they should move forward with that. I think that they should consult with Ken Schmidt, who's also consulting with us. I think
Right.
that the more information that we have, the better. And I don't think that it's something where we can just say it's a done deal right now. And I think because there's a large interest in this town in regards to the pond, regardless, I know there's a drought going on, but I think that, you know, like Jackie said, it's not something that's going to happen near future. So I think I was
I understand, but for the record, I never
Johnny,
said, I never. Yeah, but you're saying that I said something that I didn't. I simply said it would have to be revisited later, but if people are spending a bunch of money on this, they may want to think about the end game on how to spend that money and wait to see maybe if the drought breaks. That's all I was recommending.
Well, but here's the other thing too. So I talked to another agency as well that is above Park and Rec. I'm really bad with names, I apologize, but they were also, if we don't achieve getting this grant coming up soon, if we get a plan in place, we can actually get on next year's, when they submit next year's budget. So we're not even talking about possibly next year. This could be 3 years out. So it's still moving forward. One is obviously a few years further out, but there's no reason why we wouldn't stop progressing in that manner.
That'd be great. I mean, hopefully we'll get a bunch of snow.
Well, yeah, exactly. Who knows what's going to happen? It
Yeah.
could snow in July for all I know. But I was going to say too, in regards to what you guys are doing, because I keep hearing stuff about test wells, the people I've been speaking to, they do this stuff all over the world. You know, I've spoke to a few people. It might be something that you guys might benefit from as well. Like this could be a mutually beneficial mapping. Did I lose you?
Oh,
No.
So that's what I was asking, what kind of mapping that you guys were using, because this is pretty on point. Like they literally can tell you this is exactly where you need to dig to get sustainable water at how many gallons, you name it. So
Well,
that's why
I
I'm
mean,
curious.
we've already had somebody who came and did radar to find our where our test well, where the shelf of our aquifer is. But they don't tell us how much water's down there. We don't know how much water's down there.
So this might be something you might want to look into.
And we'll have more information once the test wells are done, because then we'll know how many gallons a minute we'll get and what kind of supply and what level that is when we drill those test wells. So we'll have a lot more information when that is completed.
And what Jackie's also talking about is the when they've done the now I can't think of the name of it, so I say Sigma, but it's not that. When
The
they've
satellite
done-
imaging?
No, when they've been dealing with water planning throughout California, that's part of what they do is kind of what you're talking about. So it is something that that is done that we have never done.
Yeah, it's
But
rather remarkable.
It's pretty expensive though, so I don't know if you're going to be able to. You know, we had looked into doing some of that work, and when we thought we were going to be dealing with like water planning with Tajon and with Lebec, we actually didn't end up as a part of that because we're a separate, sort of considered a separate aquifer. We're the same. We dump into their aquifer, but we're still sort of separate from them upstream. So so we never actually went through with that, but that is something that a lot of places are doing in order to get a better handle on water planning.
And you guys were talking as well earlier about doing a grant. So I was thinking that this might be something that you could possibly bring up, because this could be a solve for Fraser and Lake of the Woods if it's done, because it literally would give you everything you could imagine. So one of the two agencies I've talked to have taken interest in helping us regarding the pond. So I just, there's an open door there. So I was hoping that maybe you guys could look into it. And depending on the price, if that's something that you could possibly reach out grant wise, it could give you a lot of answers,
We can't go into the parks pot of grants because we're not a park.
No. I'm talking about what you were referring to earlier regarding the CARES Act I changed topics on you on Lockwood or Lake of the Woods. Sorry.
Well, we'll have to talk to Dave Warner and see whether that would be something that might be eligible to do something like that.
But plus, we need to talk to the engineers, find out if it's something that's going to actually help us, because right now trying to get grants for mainline and stuff like that would probably take priority over other stuff. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to try to throw another one out there, but I'd hate to miss out on something that we've been trying to get for years to do a satellite mapping of the area. But I'm not doubting it. We'll definitely ask him and see what he says about it.
Does the satellite imaging, JPL?
Different agencies do. It's layered. They all scan for different things, and then they basically run it through an algorithm that actually shows all the different variants that has to do with water flow, like the amount of water, everything. It's actually really cool. You could, if you Google it, you'll be able to see some images of how it actually works.
Yeah, we can talk to our engineer and see and talk to Dave and get maybe a little more information.
Awesome.
I would like to just add to Jackie's comments. This type of technology is advancing at an incredible speed, and there are new technologies coming up all the time. So it's really exciting what they can do now that they couldn't do a year ago or 6 months ago.
Yes. Okay.
So, anyways, yeah, I just you want to, and then like I said, I haven't gotten the engineering report yet, so there's nothing I can really do on that avenue. But the engineering report obviously is something I'm pursuing actively, along with the satellite imaging. So that's currently what's on the docket regarding that right now, to make sure that it's sustainable, it won't affect you guys. And obviously we're using non-potable, so we don't make anybody mad. And I was actually kind of hoping that you guys would give that independent support of you as an agency, and part of this community, because obviously it's important to everybody. You live here, but regardless if the state says yes or no, that's something that will have to achieve later. But as long as it doesn't affect you guys as an entity, I just, I would really hope that you guys would support the project.
Well, I don't think any of us are opposed to that. But as far as, at this point, our engineer has, because of the drought, we can continue to pursue avenues and continue to look into it. But that's as far as I can go at this point.
And can I just say one thing? One more
Yeah,
thing?
Director Schoenberg, go ahead.
I would like to just, reach out to Jackie and have you help us a little bit with, there's a lot of negative response in regard to the Fraser Park Public Utility District. And, we're not affecting us as an entity, we're affecting the entire town. That's what we are. We're actually, every single person in this town has bought into they're a part of the water company. So it's not like we're a private water company, we're, public utility district. And I think people don't understand, like I've seen so much crazy stuff, conspiracy theories about us shutting off valves in the park and all kinds of really, trucking water secretly at night, really crazy stuff. And I would just ask that, I think I'm definitely in support of you. I think the other directors are in support of the pond. And I just want to stress that, we could really, it could really be beneficial to kind of improve the understanding of people in this town, that it's, when we're talking about the water district, we're not talking about us as a private company. We're talking about every single water user in Fraser Park. And that, anything we do affects every single water user.
Yeah, no, of course. I don't know how much you know of what I've been doing, but I've literally opened the door for anybody's opinions and basically said I would track it down. So I have tracked down a lot of stuff, and I have shown a lot of people too that what they think isn't exactly accurate. So I have reached out to previous GMs from 40, 50 years ago. I've reached out to, people that installed piping over on the park. I've reached out to a lot of different people. I've talked to a lot of different people. So, and I have publicly shared everything that I have come across as well to anybody who wants to read it or look, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm not, huh?
I really appreciate that. I'm just saying there's just a lot of misunderstanding of, I saw on a social media somebody saying, well, we should just sue the water company. And I thought, gosh, that's silly. You're suing yourself.
Well, well, the thing is, which is kind of like, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but that's because, of the viewpoint of well 6, but if there was an issue regarding well 6 that did affect upon, technically it'd be on the people who dug the well, not on you. So there'd actually be a completely different liability issue there. that
Well,
wouldn't even
no,
involve
no,
you
that's
guys.
not the case because we told them where to drill the well, and it would have to be the park that sued us. Like I told you before, there's nobody could sue us for something that belongs to the park except for the park.
Okay, again, like I said, I'm not even going to really go into it because I don't see the point. But yeah, so I've been basically publicly putting everything out there that I've been finding, everybody I've been talking to, so that everybody is aware of what's going on. So, and I've been looking into everything that they're concerned about as well. So, and
Thank you
that's
for
the
your
best I
effort.
can do. Hey, Lisa,
Thank you for all of your efforts.
you're very welcome. So, also there was, I discussed the satellite imaging, but there was one other thing I wanted to bring up. Hold on a second, let me pull up my work phone here real quick. I was telling you earlier too that about being able to put together a plan to be able to get this into the budget. This would be something that would be years down the line, but this would be also part of obviously support that I know you're relying on engineers and stuff for, but would hopefully bring revenue to you guys with actually conserving the water that you guys have, the park using the water that they're generating, the non-potable, and then, having you guys possibly maintain the wall. I don't know if that's an option, but definitely something that I would be interested in talking about in the future.
And Jackie, I feel like I keep on having to say the same thing. I don't mean to sound like I'm anti-pond, but it's not a correct statement when you say non-potable water from the park, because that water under the park is potable water when we pump it out at our well.
At 45 feet down?
Yes, we pump it. We'll be pumping it 100 feet.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but all of that joins in with the rest of our well. So with the rest of our water, and that's what I've been trying to tell you, that it has to be looked at. What Jesse was talking about, what Jesse was talking about with non-potable water is like if it was high in fluoride, high in nitrates, that's non-potable water, stuff that cannot just be easily treated with chlorine. So that's why I was saying a well could go there if everybody wasn't concerned with the drought. The drought is the defining factor with the state and the engineer, but it has nothing to do with non-potable water. It has to do with the volume of water under the ground to supply the town. So when the drought's over, like everybody said, drought ends, then I'm sure everybody would be a lot more welcoming to that, especially if you put a stipulation in that if another drought hit, then the pond would be shut off if it was going to affect the town's water supply. But it's just, it's not non-potable water. It's just water that has not been pumped out of the ground yet.
If it were to affect the town's water supply, this project wouldn't go forward. It's that simple. So now, just like you told me when I talked to you, is that, this is something too, that it would get reabsorbed and just right back into the system. So, the loss there is just based on EVAP, and EVAP rate was pretty low. It was 1 gallon a minute is needed to supply for EVAP. With a liner in it, I mean, the amount of water
who gave you a volume of 1 gallon for the whole pond?
Ken Schmidt actually told me that.
1 gallon, it's not 1 gallon per square. Anyway, 1 gallon per square feet. So anyway, I've just we need to keep the terminology correct so everybody knows what they're discussing. So
well, that's why I was said too. Like I'm still waiting for the report, but that is what I was told verbally on the phone. So. Did I lose him?
Okay, Brian, sir, are we done with that for now? For that topic?
I mean,
lose everybody?
No, I'm still
I'm
here.
sorry. All right.
Brahma may have had problems like I did.
I'm not sure what Director Nyman is doing. Director Nyman, can you hear us? You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I muted because my dogs were barking. On to number 14. Discussion vote on quotes from Zito Media for internet for the district office. Okay.
Okay, so I brought that up because for one, AT&T's been so horrible. You came in when I was doing my state report and it was taking 10 minutes just to load another page. It would basically depend on if there's no contract, because if they're really good in some areas and terrible in others, Zito, but we need to get the internet speeds up. We need to be able to install a camera for the front patio area and some other ones that's not going to overload the computers and stuff. So if if I check into it and there's no contract, or if the contract states that they're going to provide us with X amount of download speed, I would like to get Zito Media.
Okay, so the 50 megabytes per second. So that's basically more than what we pay for AT&T at this point.
It is, and I wouldn't even recommend getting the 50, because the issue really is the upload speed for the live streaming and everything. At my house, I have 100 megabytes, and with our computers and the TVs and all that stuff, it still slows down. But I mean, 50 is better than 10 or 11 or 12. Some days we're only getting 7 at work, so 50 is better than nothing. But
you mean from AT&T? What do we get from AT&T?
that's what I said. 7, 8, 9. We're supposed to use 12 or 20, but we don't ever get that. And it's
Okay.
and Zito may do that too. At my house, it works really good for a few months, and then all of a sudden, I'm calling every day and making them come back out and fix it. So, when it comes to internet, we're just kind of stuck with doing the best that we can.
Okay.
Johnny, whose lines do they use?
They use the old. Here, okay, I want to make sure it goes on the power poles. The old, I forget what it was called before. Our old cable company in town, Zito Media bought them out. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on the area of town that you're at. If everything's good from there to our office,
You're breaking up.
then you get great internet. If it's iffy, not so great. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
We heard you, but you were kind of
Yeah,
breaking up.
Yeah, everybody's breaking up periodically. But anyway, the long and the short of it is, we ain't gonna know if it's gonna be great or better than it is now. And it is more expensive than AT&T, but it's also, if it's more reliable, it would be worth it. And for an initial period, we couldn't even cancel AT&T because we can't do without cable. So without internet. So we would have to try out Zito and see if it was even going to work before we decided to disconnect AT&T. So it's just something to think about. You don't even have to decide today. I could try to do a little more research and see if I could find out, anybody around the water company and see what they got going, and we could just table it till the next regular meeting and I'll research it better.
Okay.
Is that I've heard about Doctor Internet. Is that the same thing as this?
No, that's a different guy, and he was supposed to be working some kind of deal with us a year and a half ago to put one of his repeaters and possibly in exchange for internet. But then I had him in my house and I had to get rid of him because it was so
Uh-oh. There you go again.
terribly hit and miss. So he came through with he was supposed to provide documentation for you guys to approve for the swap. And then in the meantime, I kept on hearing how bad the service was. So we just left it at that. We didn't move forward with that.
Okay. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know of any good internet up here.
Do you have any comments, Director Schoenberg?
No.
Or you said no? Okay. Okay. Yeah, why don't we do a little more research, Johnny, and we can
Quick.
we address it, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you. Discussion vote on quotes for pest control for the district office.
Okay,
Can
we've
I
been,
Can I just say that I couldn't read what the documentation that you sent out at all?
Yeah, it was
You're
too
not the only
small.
one.
Yeah, that's
Way
why I
too
sent the
small.
email. I sent a follow-up email with the price list.
Oh, I didn't see
Oh,
that. Sorry.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah, I
So
sent
what
it.
are the prices and for what?
been swamped with spiders for a long time. We've tried to spray ourselves. We have a huge number of spiders, some type of millipedes or centipedes, hard ones that come in. I've had stuff chewing on our blueprints. We need to spray. I would recommend that we do I think it's called bi-monthly. Every 2 months they come in and spray and try to get rid of these. Nobody in the office likes working with spiders crawling on them.
How did you pick this company?
Tiffany used them at her house. And the other company that we used a long time ago, they're no longer in business up here.
Okay, because there used to be one up here in Fraser.
Yeah, and Gene, I think was his name, maybe Gene. Anyway, real nice guy, but they sold off that company to somebody else. And that guy isn't doing it anymore. There's not a local one.
Okay, so
Can I just say quickly, if we do approve this, that I just need to be notified when you're doing it because I'm so allergic to stuff that I'll get really sick if I come in. Not that I come in very much, but just
Yeah.
if you're gonna be
Yeah, we
doing it, hopefully I can get the book detail done before you bring.
May I say something?
yes, go ahead, Elke.
Like Lisa was just saying, spraying is bad. She's very sensitive, but it's bad for all of you guys. And it's so much easier if you need to, you just kill the spiders, or I trap them and I set them outside. But really,
I disagree.
That poison is not good for you.
Okay, but I also don't like black widows crawling across my leg when I'm sitting at the desk and other things like that. I don't have time to dig behind all the filing cabinets and capture them and set them free. So just like in my house, I would rather just spray and not have to contend with it.
And when you are catching the cancer later on in your life, don't blame me.
Okay. All right. No, I wouldn't dream of it. It'd probably be all
Okay.
the smog that I've breathed all my life.
So here's the breakdown of the cost. There's a monthly treatment. It costs $150 for initial visit and then $65 a month. Or you can do a bi-monthly treatment, which is $150 for the initial visit, then $70 every other month. Or you can do a quarterly treatment, which is the first is $150 and then for the initial visit, then $75 every 3 months. And then the agreement is for a year. So my question is, don't you think quarterly treatment might be, it's less spraying and it's also, I would think that, the initial treatment would probably kill most everything.
Sure. Yeah. I'm willing to take whatever you guys are willing to approve.
But then, do you need it during the winter?
Well, no, but you can't get it like that. You have to either do the contract for the year or you do it when or you just do a single spraying. That's how they're all set up. Even the one that was on the hill before, that's how they work.
So if they did a single spraying, what would that be? Would that be just 150? And so then every time you do one, it'd be like 150.
I think it's 150 plus it had another, I thought it was 150 plus, I don't have it in front of me, isn't it? Doesn't it say 150 plus $60. I don't know what it was. It's
The
not on
one-
that list you got.
That goes every month.
The
Only
one
if you get-
spray was 175,
Oh, okay, 175 for the one spray.
which
Okay.
included one follow-up.
Which included what?
One
follow-
follow-up. Yeah,
So
follow-up.
I would suggest, why don't we try doing just the one spray? Because you get a follow-up. And what do they charge you for the follow-up? Or is that included?
The follow-up's included in the 175 for the one spray in and out.
So why don't we try the one spray with a follow-up, and then, we can revisit if it continues to be, showing up really bad, then we can revisit it to do a contract.
Yeah, sounds fine to me.
What do the other directors think?
That's fine.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
that
just think
sounds
that
good.
the contract would be overblown because we don't need it for those, 4 or 5 months.
Right, okay, so I would entertain a motion that we approve a one-time spray for $175 plus a follow-up.
Can I just ask a question? You're saying they don't need it in the winter, but spiders come in the winter.
I agree. I wasn't going to argue the point, but yeah, we've had them all.
I don't
year long.
know.
But what I'm
I have them in my house year round. I'm not a sprayer. I have all the time. I do what he does, but I don't have time to do that. So, I'm just saying that it's not necessarily that we don't need, I just don't know how long the stuff lasts. I certainly think it's kind of a little over much to do it every month.
well,
Let's try the one time, and then if they come back later on, then we'll revisit it.
and are they spraying in the office, or are they spraying outside?
Inside and outside.
Okay. Well, I thought I read something about what I could read.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe we need to look at other companies as well. I don't know what other companies
They're
from
all
Bakersfield
comparable.
are charging.
They're all comparable, and it's only $175 to get rid of something that we've been dealing with for months.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that. So-
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, Tiffany's, researched it. She's, got the best that we could. And, you start bringing people from too far and you're going to get the added price of the travel costs.
Well, this
And
is from
is somebody-
Granada Hills.
Yeah, but whoever's doing it must live up here to do something because they're spraying up here all the time.
Well, because
anyway.
that's why I'm saying Bakersfield is much closer than Granada Hills.
Okay, I'm just saying that the prices are all comparable. It's like septic pumping. They all try to keep right around the same price so they all can, get business.
Yeah, no.
It's
That's why I was just asking.
it's just everybody's so busy. Like Tiffany is busy from the time she gets there till the time she leaves. I am too. And then to try to save, $25 or something on a one-time spray, you're going to waste $25 on, people trying to do that in lieu of doing something else that is more time sensitive. And so, I mean, she already put the time in researching it, but if you guys want more research, then I guess we could do that, but it's just not a lot of money is what I'm getting at
No.
for a one-time spray.
Right.
Oh, please.
Well,
So can I call the vote, please? Can somebody make a motion? And
I'll move it. I'll move that we ask Johnny Rat Pest Control to come out for a one-time spray with a follow-up
for
ASAP.
$175.
for the $175.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Director Gib,
ASAP, can we wait a couple weeks just until we do the book asset detail? I probably won't be able to come in. I'll have to get somewhere else.
That's,
Is
yeah,
it-
it's just that Johnny and them were wanting it, soon, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
or like a week, I guess, Director Nyman and I hopefully can kick out what we need in a week.
Yeah.
That's not a problem at all. We could definitely wait so you can, I mean, I try to make sure even when you come in, I don't even clean the floors when you come, so I know how sensitive your lungs are, so I'll
okay,
coordinate it with you when I schedule it.
Okay, you're awesome. Thank you.
so it's been seconded by Director Gibson. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried 500. 16, review and approve meeting minutes for 4/8/2021.
Okay, I didn't find anything. Did any other directors? find
No, I
anything?
read it, didn't find any errors or anything.
Okay, I'd like to move that I'd like to move that we approve the meeting minutes for oops, that's the wrong ones. For April 8th, 2021. With the possibility, oops, where's my, I just lost it. Sorry, guys.
Bless you.
I just lost the, okay, sorry. I'd like to, yeah, whatever date I just said, that with the possibility for additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
I'll second it.
Okay, Director Gibson is seconded. Roll call of directors. Director
Can
Garcia,
I just amend quickly, that was the regular meeting minutes for Thursday, April 8th.
okay, accepted. Director Garcia,
Abstain.
okay, Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
401 abstention, motion carried. Review and approve meeting minutes for 4/22/2021. I read them. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I'd like to do the same thing. I'd like to move that we approve the regular planning meeting minutes for Thursday, April 22nd, 2021, with the possibility for additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
And I'll second that.
Director Garcia, seconded. Roll call directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman is an aye. Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
500, motion carried. On the 17th, discussion vote on future agenda items.
So I have I've asked Tiffany to look into this, but we are gonna need to start dealing with some policies for cyber that we do not have, we have stuff in place that's not necessarily written out. And so I think that we may want to add that to the agenda ongoing, but Tiffany is looking into how exactly to add that to the agenda in the best way. So I'm just putting it out there that it does need to be on the agenda in some sort of form, but that she's going to be looking into the best form.
Okay. There's nothing else. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion that we adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Kelly has seconded it. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
I'm an aye, but I need Tiffany and Linda to stay on, or whoever's going to give me the numbers for the cyber form.
Okay,
I have that for you.
motion carried 500. We're adjourned at 7:46. Good night, everybody.
Thank
And-
you.
Good
Can
night.
I, Lisa,
Good night.
can I ask you one thing about the cyber thing?
Yeah.
Hold on. Lisa, your host, can you end the live stream before?
I end the live stream?
I was booted when our internet went out here at the office, so it made you the host.
Oh, it did? How weird.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. Uh, So I just turn off record? Yeah, it on. Oops. It didn't. Let me just call you. We'll just do it by phone. I'll call you guys in a minute.
Thank you, guys.
Just hit the end the meeting thing too.
Okay.